Welcome back to the Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and Doctor Strange in the Iron Man armor may be more than a hypothetical concept art from the Infinity Saga, but actual shot footage. According to the nerd-in-chief Kevin Smith, imagery that is now looking even more likely to appear in the upcoming Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Because they gotta use something to string together these future Marvel movies while every movie production is delayed from quarantine, right?
Thanks to modern editing techniques, we can use existing footage to complete the film without
COVID immune staff.
Watch.
And none can stop me.
Sorry. Seamless, huh?
You're fired.
Actually, I think I would pay to watch that. But don't worry, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness looks like it's going to pack Marvel's multiverse with all kinds of madness, including some nostalgic fan service to the daddy who loved us 3000. Okay, when the Infinity Saga box set came out, we saw some interesting concept art showing Tony Stark and Doctor Strange switching wardrobes, suggesting some proposed but ultimately rejected concept for the way a scene could have gone. But then recently, Kevin Smith revealed on his Fat Man Beyond podcast, which you should definitely subscribe to if you don't already, that not only had they seen this art before Endgame was released, they saw footage of this deleted scene from the screenwriters Chris Marcus and Stephen McFeely. Now, this was the moment Doctor Strange was being tortured by Ebony Maw on the Q ship in an attempt to get the Time Stone from the Eye of Agamotto. And Tony Stark, Spider-Man, and the Cloak of Levitation schemed to save Strange by sucking Maw out the airlock like the alien queen in Aliens. But according to Smith, the alternate scene was gonna go down this way.
Originally, Tony was gonna send the armor down to Doctor Strange in the way he could in Iron Man 3, and then the armor covered him and turned him into Dr. Mage. And instead of the arc reactor, it built around the Eye of Agamotto. And then Tony was wearing Doctor Strange cape, and it brought him down to him after however they dispatched Ebony Maw.
And by the way, we know Smith is telling the truth about them shooting the scene because there was behind the scenes footage of Robert Downey Jr. on set wearing the Cloak of Levitation. And Kevin Smith went on to describe seeing this footage in his always colorful language.
And they pulled out the phone and literally showed us not just a drawing, because that's what's going around the internet, is there's a drawing and shit. It looks badass and shit. But they showed us Sherlock in the Iron Man suit, man, like wearing the goddamn suit with Tony standing next to him wearing the cape. And we were like, what the f?
I love that man. So Marvel Comics have shown us versions of Tony Stark as the Sorcerer Supreme. There was a What If comic storyline back in the day where he fights Dormammu with his combined tech and magic as the Sorcerer Supreme. And then in the more recent Marvel Legacy comics, there's Dr. Anthony Stark from the future, who becomes so enlightened he becomes the Sorcerer Supreme in the year 2099. And there are super recent comics in which Doctor Strange gets Iron Man type armor. In recent months' Savage Avengers #9, Strange fights alongside Doctor Doom and Conan the Barbarian against the sorcerer Kulan Gath. Strange gets bitten by a magical snake, and to save him from death, they activate a satellite to emit an armored suit. Iron Man armor that Doom previously wore during a brief period when he replaced Iron Man, but with this new armor, Strange becomes the Iron Mage. Now, this storyline was from January. It came out after Endgame, obviously, so it wouldn't have influenced whatever the filmmakers had in mind back years ago for Infinity War and Endgame. But back then, if they went so far as to shoot this scene that Smith is describing, there must have been a good reason to remove it from the film. Something beyond what they ended up doing, revealing the Iron Spider Waldos and paying homage to one of the greatest films of all time. Well, actually, those are pretty good reasons to change it. But when it comes to Iron Man's armor in these movies, we know that Marvel almost always considers introducing new tech in earlier films, but ends up shifting that introduction over to deleted scenes so that they can refine the VFX for future releases. Like Tony Stark's flashy new nanotech armor in Infinity War was actually introduced way back in Iron Man 2.
You know what means something to me?
Okay.
There you go.
Oh. Damn it. I hate this thing.
My nanoball?
I don't want to play with your ball.
I'll play with it. This transferable nanotech was actually what it would have looked like when Tony's armor covered Doctor Strange in the Infinity War deleted scene. Not so much like the propulsion-powered pieces of the armor in Iron Man 3, but a fluid swarm of nanobots. Fluid swarm! Similar to the motion of fabric, which would have made Tony in the cloak an aesthetically even trade. But the nanotech VFX obviously wasn't ready to go back in Iron Man 2, and even in Infinity War, before. While it looks great when it first assembles around Tony in New York, you gotta admit, it looks a little less great when he's fighting Thanos on Titan. And not just because the armor's weakened, it just looks a little like, sure. Yet, like Tony's Papa Howard Stark, Marvel Studios artists were limited by the technology of their time, yet still shot the moon with their raw visions with hopes that a future generation could finally crack the magic in the soon-to-be most visually stunning and mind-blowing Marvel installment, Doctor Strange Goes to Hell! Ding, ding, smog. While I'm sorting through these clues trying to figure out how the movies will actually play out, it helps to study up on how movies are made. One way I do that is with Skillshare. Thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Springtime is near, so let's do some spring cleaning of our souls. Shake off that winter dormancy and try something new. New skills, deepen existing passions, or get lost in creativity with Skillshare's online classes. What you find just might surprise and inspire you. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers membership with meaning. With so much to explore, real projects to create, and the support of fellow creatives, Skillshare empowers you to accomplish real growth. Skillshare offers classes designed for real life, so you can move your creative journey forward without putting life on hold. You can learn and grow with short classes that fit your busy routine. They have classes in topics new Rockstars fans will definitely enjoy, like animation, film, video, creative writing. A class I've been checking out is their original storytelling in film using cinematography to convey emotion, taught by director of photography Joe Simon. Skillshare is also incredibly affordable to join, especially when compared to those pricey in-person classes and workshops. An annual Skillshare subscription is less than $10 a month. The first 500 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 2-month free trial of premium membership so that you can explore your creativity. We have posted all kinds of theories for what Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness might look like. It's a bit hard to nail down, especially with director Scott Derrickson being replaced by Sam Raimi and a new screenwriter, Loki showrunner Mike Waldron. But based on the footage for WandaVision, Marvel's multiverse appears to be one that bends genre, presenting various what-if alternate realities. And to me, that suggests perhaps an adaptation of something like the Captain Britain Corps, with Captain Britain Brian Braddock himself getting a nearly missable shout-out in Endgame. The crisis being suffered by Wanda Maximoff warps the fabric of reality so that alternate realities converge on each other, much like the dimensions of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And then in Multiverse of Madness, Stephen Strange encounters alternate Avengers from other realities like Captain Britain and maybe an alternate Sorcerer Supreme, Iron Mage, with Benedict Cumberbatch also playing a version of himself from another dimension, a place where the Sorcerer Supreme uses Stark nanotech armor empowered with mystic energy. And now, with years of ever-improving VFX technology, Marvel's artists will finally have a stunning visual display of the Iron Mage armor that just looks glorious as it fends off hell demons from Nightmare, Mephisto, whoever it is. And my greatest hope is that the engineer behind this Iron Mage armor from another dimension will not be an alternate Tony Stark, but a science wizard from that reality that we have been dying to see in our reality, Victor Von Doom, played by Keanu Reeves, please God.
You're breathtaking!
For more deeper theories about the future of the MCU, join our Discord server by becoming a patron today at patreon.com/newrockstars. Which MCU character do you want to see in the Iron Man armor? Comment down below, follow me at Erik Voss, follow New Rockstars, and subscribe to New Rockstars for breakdowns of everything Marvel. Thanks for watching, bye.